Let's see. Let's see, Joshua. Got it. Greetings. Greetings, everyone. This is Uncle V. You know me by Todd Pittner now, too. I am co-host of Decentralized.tv, sports fans. I hope you go there and I hope you sign up. We're going to talk about decentralized TV a little bit and some other things. But today, and by the way, just like the last few live streams, I can't see you. And I'm sorry about that. The only thing that I can see is a black box where it usually shows a live stream and it says video unavailable. So I don't know what to think about that. Kind of sucks. You know, while we're waiting for people to get here, I wonder if I added a new screen. I went to YouTube, and on a different window, I wonder if I put in Uncle Vigilante and I'll click there and let's go to live. And I don't see anything. But we'll leave it there for a minute. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to Friday. It's my favorite day of the week. And with me, I have Joshua Hale, founder of joshuahale.io. And we are here to share with you a little insight on the title of this show, How to Reinvent Yourself. Joshua, welcome to the show.
Hey, Todd, thanks so much for having me. Decentralized is a way that we're going to be able to make it through this crazy world we're living in. And I've been having a really good time helping you build your new passion.
Yeah, it's we've been spending way too much time together, Joshua. my wife's starting to get suspicious. You know, who are you talking to at all hours of the day and night, morning? And I'm like, my business buddy, my business partner. You have been amazing. joshuahale.io. Everybody, please go to your website. You know, Joshua, before we take a deep dive into what you have done for me and what you do in macro and how you can help other people like you've helped me, I just want to tell everybody a story, okay? And I'm going to do a little bit of screen share here. Let's go here. Okay, so everyone, I had a wonderful, wonderful career for 25 years with the same company. And gosh, what's it been? About 2 months ago now or whatever, I ended up losing my job. Okay. You know, it was a good run and it happens. And I will tell you, it's like the first time in my life that I operated a few days out of fear. That 4-letter word, fear. It's like, what the hell am I going to do now? You know, spirit of full disclosure, folks, I'm 58 years old. You know, I have a great resume, and I was starting to, you know, begrudgingly think, God, do I need to spit shine that and get back into the corporate world? Because I knew what was going to come with it. I would get a very good job somewhere. I just would. I have that self-confidence. But it's going to require likely getting back into the travel grind. And you know, over the last 3.5, 4 years since the boogie virus was released, if you travel for a living or you work for someone that requires you to travel, you know, you went through hell during that time, right? And no, thank you. No, thank you. So at the same time, God bless Mike Adams, my dear friend now. I'm just going to screen share with you. He invited me to become his co-host on Decentralized.tv, which is building the infrastructure of human freedom. Now we have, goodness gracious, 1, 2, 3 plus 8, 11 shows that we have launched. Hey, Ruben. How you doing, Ruben? This last one was Scott Kesterson. If you haven't seen that, I'm telling you, it's powerful. It is powerful. You should watch the last one we posted. I believe Mike and his editing team are going to post the interview that we did with Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's going to be awesome. And the cool thing about these, as it's evolved, is we interview our guest about 45 minutes, and then afterwards we do what we call the after party. And that's where just he and I, we hang up on the guest, and I'm looking at my screen here, and it froze. So it is what it is. I'm not going to be able to see your lips move, my friend, yet. So that's just become a really fun time, and should keep people all the way to the end of the show. Mike commented the other day. He's like, when you start asking questions, Todd, he goes, I'm like leaning in because I never know what you're going to ask. Usually you have a few zingers in there that are funny. And so, okay, I don't know why I'm frozen up there, but doesn't matter. So, let me move it. I'm not going to move it. Okay, Joshua, I'm sorry. I'm kind of all over the place. So as I was, being a co-host on Decentralized TV, it's like, I really like this. And then the guests that we were interviewing, and it's really all about decentralization and decentralized lifestyle and all of these amazing people that have their own strategies, their own stories, and I thought, man, I just don't want to go back into corporate America. Then that would probably screw up a good thing with Mike Adams, because we don't know when we're going to record. Sometimes it's different days of the week, depending upon the guest. So Mike ended up, because, we're making a difference with Decentralized TV, and he had a lot of people coming to him, Joshua, that was saying, hey, how do we get into private crypto? Hey, tell me more about that food forest thing, or hey, what's the best avenue to go for precious metals? And then, I have a specific tax advantage strategy that I've been using for the last 3.5 years, and it is powerful. It is amazing. It is when people understand it and they're like, oh, this is what the elites use. You don't ever hear about it. I promise you, you don't ever hear about it. I presented that to Mike, and he was like, wow, I need one of these, and so I started thinking about it, and I'm like, actually it was Mike. He came up with it. He says, Todd, I don't have the bandwidth to be able to handle all of these people who were inquiring. He goes, why don't you start up, and he went through a bunch of different names, and we came up with Decentralized Directory. And back then it was just that, just kind of a vision of a directory of vetted resources whom we could present that would have a special benefit associated with it, right? So it could be a discount off a service or a percentage off or whatever. So that was kind of the original idea. But then it evolved into Mike was promoting it on one of his shows. And this was what, Joshua, 2 Tuesdays ago? Yes, I was in Miami. It was down in Fort Lauderdale area. And 2 Tuesdays ago, he called me and he said, hey, Todd, is your site ready yet? And I'm like, no, we were targeting the 1st of September. That's today, folks. And I said, no. And he says, oh, shoot, I was going to post a video I did, a podcast I did. And, I'm telling people about decentralizeddirectory.com. And I'm like, oh, Mike, it's not ready, but let me see what I can do. So through providential, God's intervention, I'm introduced to Joshua Hale. And I was introduced to him before. We were just on a different timeline with the site, you know, and I'm like, Joshua, he gave us till Thursday. He gave us till Thursday to be able to launch this site. Now, I'm not going to go and tell you what that site was all about, but it was kind of geared a little bit more private crypto and less of really the meat and potatoes, which is this tax advantage strategy, which if you're in crypto, you want to know about it. Trust me. Just trust me on that. So when we first launched it, I spent basically from the day of launch through that weekend being a crypto tech support person. No one was booking. It was just about people sending in inquiries. And funny story, true story. I'm going to tell it on decentralized .tv today in the interview, but wonderful wonderful person reached out to me and he said, hey, I need you in a hurry, please call my cell phone. He goes, here's my problem. I have a dead Trezor and I need it to be resurrected so I could connect it to my MetaMask to track down my lost crypto. Joshua, I'm like, what? So what did I do? You know this, Joshua, you know this. Monday morning at 4 a.m., after going through that weekend of being Mr. Tech Support Dude, I completely redid the site. And I'm going to walk through it with you guys here. But this show is called How to Reinvent Yourself. We're going to get there. I'm just showing you the byproduct of my relationship with Joshua. And we'll walk through how we did what we did really so quickly. And I would say on a very affordable budget. Thank you, Joshua. I know you took one for the team because you know that we're going to be talking about you and your service a lot. But let me screen share. And we're going to go over here. Hey, Mike. And we're going to go to my website, decentralizeddirectory.com. I'm just going to walk you through it. Now, the messaging is where I want it. Take control of your future with Todd Pittner. It's time to become independent and self-reliant. Self-reliance is so important, people. We got to stop relying on centralized cabal types. To exit the systems of centralized control, you need strategic guidance on how to privately. I just went up a notch there, you know. I think I'm going through puberty finally. Privately, one, keep more of what you earn. I can make that happen in a big way. Protect your purchasing power. Shielding assets from tax exposure. Again, that's my tax advantage strategy. Protect your children's inheritance from tax liabilities. Oh man, if you are a person who owns a lot of property or has a lot of assets, there is a very, very astonishing way to be able to protect it so it doesn't go through probate after you pass, to where it's all taxed. And you have the burden that you leave on your children. No, there is a way better way. Super, super simple if you know what to do. Feeling the pain of inflation? Well, the time to act is now. Food inflation, currency devaluation, high tax burdens. Those are all enemies of the state, guys. Enemies of us. We're the state. We're living it all. But there is a way out. Todd can guide you on the path to self-reliance and freedom. It's time to become independent and self-reliance. Those are the themes of my value proposition. The centralized systems we're operating under are going to fail. It's not if, it's when. And if you can't see that, you're living under a rock. How do we become independent of the government, the financial system, and the supply chains? Book an hour with Todd Pittner and strategically learn how. Ready to decentralize from centralized control? With Todd's guidance, you'll learn key strategies enabling you to thrive in today's challenging environment. Todd's undiscovered tax saving strategy alone is worth the price of admission. I would say I did 3 consults this week, and I'm 2 for 3 on those, with the third one just wanting to have a consultation with her tax advisor, which is great. But people are picking up what I'm putting down. Once they understand it, they're like, wow, I didn't know that existed. It's powerful. You'll also gain access to Todd's personal, trusted network, expert in precious metals, energy savings, private crypto, and more. That is the directory side of the business that we are busy working on populating. About Todd, co-host of Decentralized TV with Mike Adams. I'm on a mission to build and connect the infrastructure of human freedom. With strategic escape plans, Todd helps you take control of your future outside the centralized control grid. Together, we fight the centralized actors controlling the monetary, energy, and food sectors. Todd will help you to privately preserve your purchasing power, protect your assets, and your children's inheritance. My services, one-on-one consultations. That's what you book with me. Book an hour with Todd to acquire decentralized strategies to protect your wealth and preserve your purchasing power. I also do group consultations. I had a woman reach out to me, and she said she represented a big group in the freedom side of the world. And she asked if I would do a group presentation. And I'm like, absolutely. I just need one person to book the meeting, and then you can send the Zoom invite to as many people as you want. And I really look forward to that. I'm happy to conduct group consultations. Networking up, and that's another great way. I mean, people, look, to book an hour with me, you'll see it's $500. Now, there's value associated with that, because on the back end, when you take advantage, for example, my tax saving strategy, you get $500 off the cost of that. And again, it's not that much money in perspective to how valuable and powerful it is, but I want to make it a wash. So I'll make the presentation, invest the hour, my time's worth that. But on the back end, if you take advantage, guess what? I'm basically paying your first $500. Okay, networking opportunities. Those who Todd consults become part of the decentralized family. Gain access to Todd's strategic network of vetted, trusted specialists dedicated to human freedom. Now, you will become part of my family, seriously. So as Joshua and we expand the network that we have, you don't have to go back through another consultation. That initial one is all that you need. And then you're going to be plugged in to when we have new services or providers or ideas or ways to be able to help you with your decentralized lifestyle. You're automatically going to be in the network. You're going to be in the know. You're going to be informed. You're going to be invited to special, Zoom meetings. It's just going to be cool. I can't wait to see where we are at in a year, Joshua. Booking an hour with Todd was the best investment I made all year. I'm 50 years old, and I've never heard of this tax saving strategy. It blew my mind. It's what the elites do. Following his advice, it was a no-brainer. The path to self-reliance begins here. For a $500 donation to Todd's nonprofit that supports decentralization, gain insights, strategies, and connections to protect your assets, purchasing power, and family's inheritance. Todd is here for you, engaging, productive, and committed to your decentralized success. Then you can go in there and you can find a time that works for you and book an hour. Don't wait. Your time to act is now. Book an hour. If you have any questions or anything, you can contact us, but please do not contact me asking questions about resurrecting a dead treasure to connect with MetaMask to track your lost crypto. Please, please, please. Okay, so now you know what I've been up to. Now, Joshua, I'm sorry, that was way too long. 15-minute introduction before giving you the floor. I apologize about that, Joshua Hale.
You're showing off the website I got to help build, so I was right there with you.
You did. It is beautiful, and I got to give a shout out to my man Spencer Lambert. You are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody in the Epic Cash community knows you. Anything that you see that is anything visual regarding Epic Cash, Spencer's the one that created it. He is just amazing at his at what he does. And this is what he does.
Yeah, I constructed the site, and then Spencer came in and made it pop. So
yeah,
good working with a good designer, because it makes it
yeah, it was just amazing. You guys, now what I'm gonna tell people before you talk about like kind of the process we went through or what you do, I just want to let everybody know, and this is kind of my measure, man. Joshua, when I got that call from Mike on Tuesday that it needs to be published by Thursday, I had no idea how to set up Stripe and Calendly and a website, blah, blah, and like 10 other things. Thank you, sir. You made it so easy for me, and you were very, very patient. I mean, I'm pulled over on the side of an interstate with my blink flashers on, trying to get Stripe going. But you made it just boom, boom, boom. I know there were times when I was kind of like, ah, and you were just like, look, let's chill. Let's take a deep breath. Everything's going to be okay. And I just appreciate it. So Joshua, why don't you give your side of the story?
Yeah, no, it's been an exciting, 10 days since we really got going.
Yeah.
When you first came to me, I mapped out what it is that you were looking for, and I threw you a pretty hefty proposal on what it was going to take to really build out the vision that you were trying to express. And for good reason, right? You're new to this venture, and seeing that large proposal as well as the price tag attached to it, you're like, I can't do that right now. I just need something lean. Mike's about to announce my website, and I just need something up. And so I was able to pivot really quickly and work with you more one-on-one without involving the marketing agency that I co-own with Richard Grove, Autonomy Limited, and be able to go the lean approach. Now, for the last, for this last year, I've been really fascinated with all the AI tools that have been coming out. There's new AI builders, AI, literally everything. Just 2 months ago, in the last 2 months, 3,000 new AI tools were just unleashed onto public market. So I've been really fascinated. I think it can really empower, liberty-minded folks who want to get away from their 9-to-5, want to be able to start their own business, want to be able to take control of their future. And so this was the route I went with Todd. He's like, I just need one page up. It needs to be able to take appointments and be able to, put these on the calendar so I can start taking these consults. So we went to town, and Todd helped me out with the copy because it was his vision. And so I was able to get the building components together to put this site together really quick. I was literally sitting on the couch. It was like in the evening, and he's like, by Thursday. I was planning on taking the next 3 weeks and being able to do it properly, step by step. And so I wasn't about to turn this down. I'm a fan of Mike Adams, so I didn't want to disappoint him as well. And so I jumped.
We're gonna have you on Decentralized TV as a guest too, by the way, both you and your wonderful partner.
Great. So with these AI tools, I was able to take this really light approach using these new website builders. And as Todd, you've seen, it's a pretty simple process. I was first planning to build you a WordPress site, which is the biggest and best out there, most capable, but also the most technical and challenging. I just helped a friend build a WordPress site. She wanted to do it herself. And at the end, I said, so how long did that take you? And she's like, at least 90 hours. And so Todd didn't have that amount of time. No. So we went the lean route and got a really beautiful website up. It's fast, it's responsive, it looks good. And we were able to set up Calendly. So a nice, smooth onboarding experience when people are ready for presentation. The goal was to really have an automated system up for Todd so he could focus on just working with the clients. I wanted him to wake up and see, appointments on his calendar for the week. And that's all he had to do is show up and put his full attention to his audience.
And you know what? I think this is a lesson in the fact that perfection is the enemy of progress, right? That with anything, don't be afraid to just start ugly. So the starting ugly, what you initially presented was by no means ugly. It was functional, but it was cool to see it come together. And then when you started testing to where when you would book, I mean, you initially booked it, you set it at $5, right? That was a booking fee. And sure enough, it's just like everything worked. I got a notification that I had a booking. There was a Zoom invite in my calendar. I got a notification that that I'd gotten $5 through Stripe and that it would be deposited in 72 hours or whatever. And then 72 hours later, sure enough, there it was. It worked. And it was deposited to my tax advantaged bank account. and you know all about that. I'm telling you, people, if you're in crypto, and I know if you're watching this, you're going to want some insight. Be the best investment you never made. It really would. And I say that from the bottom of my heart. Matter of fact, if you went through that and really carefully gave it, and you said, no, this is a piece of crap. No, I'm not going to say that I'll give the $500 back. I'm not going to do that. That would cheapen my self-worth. So, but yeah, so starting ugly and being able to, what I love most is, Joshua, is you just knew everything, what to do, how to set it up, almost like you've done it before 100 times. and so where did you get all of the experience to be able to do this, Joshua Hale? What do you got for me?
Yeah, well, 10 years ago, I was kind of in the same boat where I was stuck in a career that I was not happy with. I was in the restaurant industry. I was a chef. I didn't know how to get out of it. And then social media came along, and I had my first idea for a business, helping people with custom affirmation tracks in their own voice. It helped me out a lot. And then I showed it to a friend, and she's like, oh, you should start a business doing this. I was like, okay, no clue. And so I spent that next year, going through the same steps that you did, getting a website built and then taking it to social media and starting to promote it there. Basically spent a year doing everything you should.
Wait. It took you longer than 2 days?
Oh, yeah. But after that year, everything that I did wrong, I realized other businesses need help doing this because I was rather savvy, yet, there was a lot of pitfalls that I took. Using all caps on social media, yelling at people, trying to tell them to check out your product isn't the way to go about it. So I started helping my first client. And then from there, that was how I was able to transition out of my restaurant industry. And then for the last 10 years, I've helped, I think, over 100 new businesses get up and going. And it's really fun. It's really exciting. And the biggest hurdle is just starting. You have to get up and out there, get your website going, and then be open to the market, because the market's going to be the ultimate decider on what you do, how much you charge, how much you earn, and you have to be able to get something up to be able to access that feedback mechanism. So the biggest hurdle to me, the way I see it, is just getting started. So I'm so excited about these new technical advances that we're all making. 10 years ago, trying to do what we did for you, scheduling and getting them on your calendar and building that website, it would have been thousands of dollars just to try and rig some process up so that it could work functionally. And it wouldn't work that well. But now a nice, seamless, light, there's less things to break, and it can really, make the experience easy for those that are ready to invest in what you have to offer. Yeah. And,
it's like, now that I've done several of these consultations, kind of the backseat to me, everything is kind of the backseat to this tax advantage strategy because it's so powerful. So, the exposure that I'm getting is really coming through little mini infomercials that Mike is doing on Decentralized TV. Keep in mind, as episodes come out, they were taped. We recorded those weeks ago. And so, but what you will see, especially, we're going to be interviewing a very special guest today. And since I've gone through all of this, Mike wants to make sure that that we make a more articulate message on this. I can get you into private crypto and point you in the right direction, but I can't be your crypto tech support guy, But I'm working on it. By the way, I want to talk to you about bonus guides, because my next bonus guide I want you guys to do is how to be able to get efficiently, effectively into private crypto. See, guys, we're doing it right now. I will tell you, these bonus guides are going to be very valuable for those people who book a consultation. But not only that, we're going to be giving them away in exchange for email address, getting on the newsletter, things like that. But I want to continue to add value. So as I could tell over the weekend, there were a lot of people that were just looking for really, just kind of hand-holding help, right? Let's make it easier. Let's turn that into a bonus guide. Not a bonus hole, but a bonus guide. So as I think through this and think about the consultations I've had and the reactions to this tax advantage strategy, positive reaction, I should say, is it's like, I really know, I think the target audience for this is going to be people who, make money. They want to keep more of their money. They pay taxes. I'm sorry for those of you outside the US, this tax advantage strategy, it's not for you. Sorry, but and it's going to be people who have a lot of property that they want to protect, and they don't want upon their passing to be able to, put their kids through hell when they can do something just very simple with a living will. And I'm not going to go into what it is. It's hard. It's hard, everyone. It's like, I'd like to share it with you, but that's kind of the purpose of what I do now, right? Reinventing myself, extending my value to you. But Joshua, now I'm starting to get it. Now that I've rewritten the website, I know the target audience. So right now, the only way we're getting eyeballs is through, this show and Mike Adams and my show, where we give a little shout out about it. But there's more, right? Tell people what you're doing for me, to where if I don't know, I'm not going to breathe anything into existence. So I'm not going to say if someone gets hit by a bus, but I'm going to say, look, how else can I get leads into this that are targeted to where it's people who are going to arrive saying, yeah, I don't like the tax man. I want to save money on taxes. Yeah, I want to protect my property, my personal property. No, I don't want to be able to have my kids, have to pay death taxes, inheritance taxes. I'm not really interested in capital gains taxes. That's going to appeal to a lot of people. So there are other ways to be able to get people into the top of the funnel, right? Why don't you share with us what you have in mind for me, Joshua?
Yeah, and I'll try not to, use too much marketing jargon, but essentially we want people to come and visit your site to immediately know that this is the right place to be. It's great you have podcasts, you're partnered up with Mike Adams. And so that builds a lot of trust for people hearing your message and who you're associated with. So that lessens the burden of your website needing to do that, because there's, millions of websites out there, and you shouldn't trust everything on the internet.
That's right.
Finding trusted sources of information that you can learn from, that's really a massive value out there. And being able to organize information and be able to offer that to your audience is a huge benefit, because you can literally go to YouTube and search just about anything and learn from stuff. But
right.
A, you don't know if this is trustworthy. B, you don't know like if an AI wrote it, you don't know if it's accurate, if it's factual. And so there's a lot of guesswork and a lot of time needed when you go out to research something. Be able to come to Todd, who's an expert in this already. He's doing it, he's living it, and be able to just learn rapidly with condensed information, nicely organized in a step-by-step manner. That's value. That's what people need. People don't have time to be doing this. They're battling, a decaying civilization. They're trying to keep their family safe and protected, and they're trying to figure out their passion to be able to, share that with themselves. So finding that compact information is really like my job as a marketer, to be able to easily be able to deliver that to people that are looking for it.
No, that's great. And I'm just going to say to people, because I have so much conviction in this strategy, if don't step over dollars to collect pennies. That's what I'm going to say. That's my advice is, it's just very, very powerful. And so, the $500 is absolutely a wash, because I pay the first $500 of the service that is turnkey, that is just amazing. The person who has been doing this has been doing it for 30 years. He's helped over 1,000 people with this strategy. And I met him 3.5 years ago, and I was in. And I cannot tell you, I'm not going to tell you how much money I have personally saved over the last 3.5 years, but it's been a lot. And it is really, frankly, put me in a position where today, where I wasn't living paycheck to paycheck. And, that little bit of fear was the fear of the unknown of, can I replace my income? Joshua, I have no doubt that I will, and I'll be able to help a lot of people at the same time. But what I want to encourage you watching, listening, is if you have your own idea of a business and you want to be able to just kind of put your toe in the water, invest a little bit of money in it, using Joshua, Hale.io, he can very, very rapidly, as he did with me, spin up a business for and with you. And even if you have a corporate job, thank goodness, everyone, thank goodness that I had a side gig with Mike Adams, right? That I was doing interviews with Mike Adams. And, through that relationship, I'm going to call that a side gig, right? That's what was the, flashpoint of my new business. Now, if I never met Mike Adams and I didn't have this new inspiration, I wouldn't be here today, and that's why I look at this as a God wink. They say sometimes, I think always, God, when he closes the door, what you need to look for is the cracked window. He leaves a cracked window somewhere. It's up to you to find it. And sometimes pushing you out of the comfort zone, you just end up doing what you would never have done because you were too comfortable. That's where I was. So, it's been hard. The last couple of months have been hard. It's like, holy cow, you're telling me that Cobra insurance is $1,875 a month just for my wife, me, and my 20-year-old daughter? My God, that's horrible. That's horrible, but it is what it is. It's a freaking mortgage payment, but it is what it is. So that's an added expense that I have to, in my income replacement mode, I have to address, and I've been able to get that down a little bit, but not a lot. But if I would not have had the benefit of being able to save more of what I earned over the last 3.5 years, which allowed me to pay off a lot of things because of this tax advantage strategy, I owe it all to that. And then I owe it all to the fact that there are God winks all around me. Everybody, people watching here, I consider you a God wink. we've been through a lot together, and we're going to be going through a lot together in the future, but I really think it's important for you to consider what you might want to do next. If the shoe fell on you, what's your side gig? Do you have any kind of vision or plan, wants, hopes? I just want to be here to encourage you and just say, start ugly. And now you have a resource with joshuahale.io. And I hope, Joshua, that you get some inquiries, because I really want you to be able to help others like you helped me. You were just amazing. Now, what do you got for me, Joshua? What's in my future? I know you were working on we went to the next level, didn't we? You gave me a value proposal. And now, instead of it being that initial one where it was like, opening up and drinking out of a fire hose, and I'm like, nah, hell nah. Can we just crack the door open a little bit and just kind of start? But now that we've gotten to know each other, you've gotten to know my business and my vision and everything, you came back to me with the next steps. What is that going to be for me, Joshua?
Yeah, and once you have the foundation of your website up, that's when you're ready to be able to accept offers and be able to start helping people. Next is you want to be able to track more people. And so finding ways to be able to accumulate and organize knowledge and be able to deliver that to people, those are huge bonuses. And so, your $500 investment to signing up for Todd's consultation and learning about his tax-ready solutions, that's sweet. That's going to pay for itself in its own. But all the bonuses that we are putting together, right? You just came up with another idea of how people need help setting up private crypto. So I'm going to help you out with a tutorial on how to do that. People can just follow along and be able to get the results that they're looking for. So you're going to come across, more problems to be solved. And then you now have a system. You got a buddy, myself, and all the resources that I've accumulated over the years that we can quickly take those solutions, turn it into a way that can be packaged up and easily digested for your audience. And then you're on to the next problem to solve and on to the next problem.
Joshua,
that's entrepreneurship.
Can you pull up your site that you've been working on where you have the bonus guides and show people? Because this is what you had me at this. The other bonus guide that we're working on is how to get yourself withdrawn from the system, from all of the people that have your name and your contact info, and they sell all of that. It's going to be an amazing guide that's going to give you step-by-step instruction on getting the hell out of the system. Stop being that person to where they know everything about you. Now, it's going to be a tutorial, a guide, and you're going to have to do your own work on it. But I paid $1,000 to be able to have the content of that, so that I could actually $1,300, so that I could provide that to you all as a bonus. A bonus for what? I don't know. Is it signing up for the newsletter? We'll figure all of that out, right? But now Joshua's going to show you, and you told me, Joshua, you're like, this has to look good. And I'm like, well, how do you make this content where it's just instructions on how to get the hell out of the system? How do you make that look good? And you're like, oh, hold my beer and show us how they're going to look, sort of, kind of.
Yep. So yeah, what he's talking about is, we want to make something easily digestible. So that really involves being able to go and find, a designer and graphics to be able to help accent the information. So I'll show you an example of that right now. Right now, this is my website. So before I was, really open to help any liberty-minded individual in their business, starting a business, leveling up their business. And I've recently niched down to realizing what I am really passionate about, and that's modern homesteading. I went from living in the city of downtown Seattle and watching the decay happen 10 years ago to where it is now, to moving on 10 acres with my wife, our daughter, and her parents. So we have a multi-generational, multi-home property.
Wow.
We have multiple gardens. Awesome. We got a lot going on. 20 minutes from downtown, so we're out in the country, but we're it's not a huge drive to the co-op to get some food. But I wanted to help other people make that move too, because you're either in a city and you see what's going on and you want to be able to get out, or you're recently, out in the rural area and you need some skills, or you're looking for community, because community is how we're really going to be able to insulate ourselves from what's coming. We got to be surrounded by like-minded individuals. So
quick question. Are you screen sharing or no?
Yeah, I am.
You are, because I totally lost my screen. I can't even see it.
No problem. I'm driving.
Stop? Can you stop real quick just so I can see if I can find my screen on my monitors? Tell me when you've stopped, because I completely, gosh, I have completely lost it. Let me do one more thing here. Sorry, people, but I kind of like having because I want to see what oh, there it is. All right, let me get you. Nope. Stop.
Stop share.
Yeah, please. There. I need to get it on my other screen. Okay, now share. Sorry about that.
All right. This is the beauty of doing it live, folks.
Yep.
So this is my new calling to help homesteading pioneers, modern homesteaders. That doesn't mean that you have acreage. It means it's a mindset. Being able to become self-reliant is a mindset that you have to adopt. You could be in the city and, you could grow tomatoes on your balcony. That's the homesteader mindset and the people I want to help. So from there, once you get out in the country, I want to help you devise, multiple streams of income. Todd's a homesteader, right? I know you live in kind of the urban zone, but you're about to make a food forest. Is that right?
Yeah, I'll show people the food forest after.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, let's show off that map. So homesteaders, they need side hustles, they need businesses. And so multiple streams of income, right? When you move away from the city, that's something that's going to be very prudent to your survival. So I'm creating resources to help modern homesteaders. I got 10 mind-blowing AI tools, the ethics of AI. I think that's very important. I think it's a mistake to demonize AI. It's not Terminator yet, but we need to be able to understand what this is, where the edges are of where freedom lives and where slavery begins. So this guide helps you figure that out. And then 100 side hustles for the modern homesteader, right? Awesome. So just like what I'm going to build with Todd, he's going to have resources up there. You're going to be able to get this delivered right into your inbox. And then you're going to have a good looking PDF like this. Easy to digest information, right? Sure, you might have come up with some of these ideas yourself, but I bet not all 100 of them.
Right.
So in here is a nice long list for you to be able to examine your life and figure out ways, hey, do you got an extra few hours a week? Can you turn Netflix off and start a sticker business? Right. So there is a nice collection, sure to spark ideas of multiple ways that you can start generating income. So I really love helping people start businesses. I see that's, being in control of your finances and being in control of how your money is coming in. You're not going to have to, sacrifice your values and principles to be able to get a paycheck. You don't have to, set your own schedule. That's really important to me. Same with you, Todd. I have a 5-year-old daughter and I prioritize my family and what we do. So I need a business that can work around that. So I'm now wanting to help, the modern homesteader devise these same lifestyle for you guys, being able to figure out how to go get land, how to
Joshua.
Start.
I didn't see anywhere where people had to put their medical information and prove they were vaxxed to be able to get to your bonus guides.
Yeah. I don't believe in that. And so that would never happen with these ethical relationships that I have with the people that want to sign up for these things.
Right. This is just awesome. So
along with that, I'm building courses, and I'm sure Todd has a few courses in him as well. If you're new to ChatGPT, right, here's how to use ChatGPT. In 50 minutes, you'll figure out how to sign up for it, how to use it, and be able to start applying it to your life. get ideas for making income, get knowledge for making income, and being able to organize how to create income through those methods.
Are you familiar with Change Now?
Change Now? Nope, not yet.
Okay, you need to learn about changenow.io because you should incorporate into here, because I see you have some things for sale. You should also accept crypto, and they make it super easy to do so. So check them out.
Learning so much from this guy. There's a mutual value exchange happening between me and Todd. So I have been taking notes, Todd, of how you're setting up. I just want to be able to be of value to my audience, some people that are, looking to become modern homesteaders. I want to make it easy. I want it to give you step-by-step instructions and be able to, get those dreams. So it didn't take you 10 years like it took me, but you can get out of the city, get set up, create mutual aid groups so you can build community around you and insulate your family for, what's to come.
I'm going to show people my plans for my food forest. So this is my house and my back property. Funny story. My back property used to look like everybody else's, where, it was more kind of like this, and the trees were smaller, and because it was like 8 years ago. And I'm like, man, I want a place to be able to take my dogs and do a dog run. So I got a bush hog, and I spent a whole day just about killed myself just carving this out. I mean, it was so hard, just mulching up everything that was in my path. And then over the next year, I just told my mowing guy, I'm just like, mow it, just mow it. I paid him extra, mow it. And over the years, the grass started to come in. I don't do anything with it back there. So I have a fence here that I can take my dogs back or I used to. I don't anymore because we have so many deer and raccoon and everything that have paths. So my dogs would get curious and go down these paths. But when Mike Adams and I interviewed Jim Gale, of course, I knew Jim before. I was considering buying property at Galt's Landing. It planted a seed in me, and I'm like, I don't want to grow a lawn. I want to grow food. I want to not be dependent upon the food system. I see food inflation as the highest inflation right now. We all do. And so I'm like, I'm going to at least pay for a design for a food forest, and I'm going to show it to you. Now, this is what they came back with after spending a ton of time interviewing me. Towards my house, this is where all the food's going to be. So you have banana trees, legumes, peaches, 2 different kinds of avocados that come in at different times of the year, a veritable salad bar here that you can just walk by and pull the leaves off of this area. You're going to have beautiful smelling gardenias here, orange tree, mango, mulberry bush, just going to be amazing. There's going to be grapes that are growing. It's going to be awesome. So papaya. Now, it's going to take about 18 months for this to come in.
Nothing.
But you know what? That's nothing. But this is called permaculture. And it is, I'm having an issue with my HOA, but there is a law. There is a law out there to where HOAs cannot tell you you cannot grow food if it's Florida friendly. Florida friendly planting. And so this is what Florida friendly is it's where you have a whole ecosystem to where what they plant underneath is feeding up here, and what drops down from up here feeds that and just becomes rich. So I can't wait. I'm going to win. I have no doubt. But in the back phase 2, this is going to be for all my babies, my animals, my deer. I have a mama deer right now that she's going to give birth any day now. So I'll have 2 generations of her babies in my backyard. We go out together every morning. They come out when I go out and I spread feed. But these, I can't even tell you what all of these are. but it is going to visually look like a beautiful Garden of Eden. And my little area, my fire pit area, we're preserving that. And it's just going to hug you. And then all of these are designed around being able to be good and healthy for all of the raccoons and deer. So it's really for them. It's not going to be food necessarily. There's a little bit, but it's mostly just for them and for the beauty. So that is, that's awesome. When Joshua, when people are going to the store freaking out in, 2 years and one avocado is $12. I'm going to go in my backyard and I think I could start a new business. It's but I'll tell you that, even the people on the HOA board, they're my neighbors. I'm like, I made the appeal to them. I said, come on, you want to know what my want is? My want is to be able to have a nice harvest and walk around to my neighbors and knock on the door and just say, here, please enjoy. That's the kind of investment I'm making in this. So it's not just for me, it's for the community. And so they've been considering it for like 10 days now, and it's kind of pissing me off, but I'm going to win. But Food Forest is a decentralized strategy, and what I have is I have a special arrangement with Jim Gale on many of my relationships that I'm setting up here. The value add is the white gloves treatment you get. You get like front of the line white gloves. If it came through Todd, man, they're going to take everyone seriously. They're going to over deliver on expectations. And I'm going to make sure of that. So, okay. Well, that's one little strategy. Here's the other one. I learned that I've been a dumbass for way too long, and I'm installing solar. And I got the right solar guys who they install in 37 states. They're so awesome. And man, oh man, am I going to save so much money over the next 25 years by locking in my energy price. And when everyone, because you know what, Joshua, I started paying, I have a large house, but it's never been like this. You get into August and September here in Florida and it's hot as hell, right? But my electric started going from $500 to $550 to this year. I just paid my last two bills. One was $650 and one was $637. And I'm like, what? And then that's when Jim Gale told me, Todd, you got to talk to my solar guy. And he came in, and man, it's like I'm going to be able to lock in my energy cost for $313 for the next 18 months. And then after that, they give you the 18 months because then you get a tax credit. I'll get like a $30,000 tax credit, of which I can keep, or I can apply it towards that loan for the solar where there's no down payment, right? And then, but if I keep it, my energy price goes up to $400 and I think it's $40 for the next 25 years. So because what hit me is I'm like, as I saw this inching up, Joshua, I'm like, I'm going to be paying $900, $1,000 in my energy bill. This is how these Druid Babylonian bastards are literally going to just screw the middle class and us people. And, where owning a home is going to be unaffordable. Renting a home, if your landlord is paying the electric, is going to be unaffordable. So what are we all to do, right? Well, for one, I think I finally drank the smart Kool-Aid, and I'm like, this makes all the sense in the world. It's bill replacement, right? You have the expense for the solar, right? But that's replacing my electric bill, which has been $650.
We got solar on our house, and for the two houses, our bill is under $200 a month because of that.
Isn't that beautiful? Mm-hmm. So yeah. So folks, if you want to book a consultation with me, I'm going to give you some great insights on tax advantage strategies. I'm going to plug you into my personal network, which would include getting you an assessment for your home from my solar guy, who is just astonishing, makes everything so easy. And, it's all part of it. You don't have to worry about a thing, but I'm trying to figure out how to save myself money, guys, and decentralize myself. What I offer and I connect with you guys, it isn't anything that I haven't already done. I'm leading with my chin, just sharing my experience and my network with you. So, Joshua, I don't even know what time it is. I feel like we've got
2 minutes, buddy.
Oh man, we're wrapping up on an hour. That's awesome. Thank you. You've been great. So everybody, please visit joshuahale.io. And man, especially if you're into any kind of homesteading, I'm certainly going to visit that and download some of your bonus guides. That's an inside joke with Mike Adams and me. People are crazy out there. Okay. Well, man, again, folks who are in the chat, I'm sorry I can't see you. I haven't been seeing you. I'll look forward to going back and reading the comments and such. But yeah, I just wanted to hopefully create an encouraging live stream to where maybe in you there's a future business, and just know that there are the resources for you to be able to do it, at least kick the tires. Joshua, how do people get in touch with you? Is it just through joshuahale.io and they book a meeting?
Yep, I got a slick interface, and I'm offering, let's chat for 30 minutes and see, if we are a good fit to work together. I'm going to continue to keep putting out a lot of resources, so join my newsletter to be able to get access to those. And I'm really excited about, helping you be able to find your tribe, get insulated against, the crazy decaying society out there, and empower yourself, become self-reliant, because if you don't, there's going to be consequences to those that are getting the handouts from the society the way it is. Yeah.
You're not going to be able to get the handouts, all of the goodies, the Obama phones, without taking the jab, without being up to date on all of your boosters, without complying and wearing masks.
And digital ID, man, that stuff's coming.
And digital ID. I was going to say, man, I hope YouTube doesn't give me a strike for saying the MASK word. Good Lord. Okay. Well, I got to get off, and I'm going to go start recording a couple of shows with Mike Adams. We're going to have a great lineup this afternoon. So everybody, please go to decentralized.tv. Scott Kesterson, man, watch that last video. If you aren't familiar with him, and what a human being. Oh my goodness. And yeah, just sign up for the newsletter or for the email list there, and then 24 hours before a video is released to the platform, you'll get an email letting you know who it is and when it'll be available. Okay, Joshua, thank you. Appreciate you. I'm sure we probably be talking 20, 30 times over the weekend. Thank you.
All right, Todd, thanks so much for having me on. It's been really
all
cool.
Right.
Look forward to
everybody, thank you. And again, I'm sorry I can't see you or read your comments, but let me know in the comments if you want more live streams like this. I'm going to be exploring more about decentralized living, I think, on this channel. I like coming on and having a one-on-one chat with you. So I think it's going to be less about private crypto. I have about 3.5 years or 2.5 years worth of that. So we've had our fill, but I really want to kind of explore some other avenues of discussion and conversation. So, all right, with that, we're out.